minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, guys. Josh Bcraft here, 2mm Shift. Man, it's been a minute since I have been live on the interwebs, and I am excited to be live with you guys now. So much going on in the background. For those of you who don't know, I've got a couple of different companies that have been demanding a lot of my time in the background, and we're finally coming to a point where I can entertain everything that I intended to do with 2mm Shift and actually knock this thing out of the park. And I'm excited because we're going to be doing a workshop series, is what I'm calling it. So what is this? Here's a couple of things. So I don't want this to be just a promo for the series, and don't worry, there's nothing to buy, so it's not even a hard pitch, but I think you guys are going to want to be a part of it, many of you anyways. So the thing that I want to kind of discuss with you about it is this whole 2mm Shift thing. The whole point of it is finding the little tiny things that give you massive leverage, right? Like, let's say that your finances are on a clear direct path to make 100 grand a year, right? Well, what if there's a 2mm shift that you can find? Not a massive shift, not a giant habit change, just a small tweak that by the end of the year makes it 150 grand a year or 200, right? What if your relationship is on a clear path to just being same old, but there's a 2mm shift? Again, not a massive habit, just a tiny little thing that you tweak, and by the end of the year, it goes from mundane to magical, right? Those are the kind of things that we're talking about in 2mm Shift. Like, it's not just relationship stuff, it's not just business stuff, it's not just personal development or just health. It's about all of these things around all aspects of your life, right? Like, even if you're in business, like, come on, let's be honest, right? Like, if we're adults in the room, even if you're in business, health plays a role in your business performance. It just does, right? Like, it plays a role in your relationships, right? And relationships play a role in all those other things. So, like, as much as it makes sense to niche down and talk about how we solve one problem, the truth is all of these problems kind of need solved, and they all kind of go in with each other. And most of these 2mm shifts are not they're not unique to one particular thing, right? Like, imagine a 2mm shift on a communication strategy. Well, that changes everything that requires communication, right? So this is a lot of stuff that we're talking about. And in these workshops that I have coming up, we're going to dive into a multitude of different angles on some of these different things. But we're going to start with something a little more hot topic, right? Something that's interesting to everybody, something I've been doing a ton of. I've built a number of applications doing this, and some of those we're actually about to bring to market. Some of those are internal tools that we use for our business. I'm going to talk about my vibe coding process. Those of you that are vibe coders now, hopefully there's something you could pick up. But listen, like, the vibe coding world is innovating rapidly, and there's a lot of cool stuff out there. But those of you who are just tiptoeing into it, or maybe you don't even know what vibe coding is, right? Vibe coding, so you know, is using AI to build software applications. And you could build some really, really cool stuff really, really quickly. In fact, I will tell you that I'm to the point where if I spend more than 5 minutes looking for a tool that's not a complex lift of a tool, like it's not something that I would absolutely need a development team to have built, I don't spend more than 5 minutes before I just go build my own, because then I know it's what I want, right? I don't have to like evaluate it anymore. That's a crazy place to live in. Like, I've built Chrome extensions that help me with all sorts of things. I've got a Chrome extension that's even helping me build videos, you guys. So, like, there's really cool stuff in the vibe coding world, and I want to show you guys how to get set up and use it, because a lot of people fear the tech part of it. Like, you start seeing code and like you feel a little uncomfortable, whatnot. We're gonna take care of all that stuff, because you don't need to know any of that stuff to do this vibe coding thing. You only have to know how to think about AI and have the right tool set up for you. And I'll even have some free ways that you guys can vibe code in this workshop. But my goal is that you walk away with the knowledge to be able to go build small tools that you need to enhance your workflows in your life, right? I've got tools that I built that help me track my life in terms of activities and habits that I can check off from my daily checklist. I've got ones that help me sell better. They do. I'll show it to you guys. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much on that one, but really, really cool stuff. It's really low barrier to entry, and I want to invite you guys to that kind of workshop, right? I'm also going to be talking about personal development hacks. Like, how do we actually find the motivation? How do we ignite the thing inside of us to go get it done? In this world today, I promise you, it is not like people say things like, your job won't be replaced by AI. It'll be replaced by somebody who knows how to use AI. I'm going to just add a little caveat there. The big thing that we're up against is human behavior and the ability for humans to engage their will on the world, right? As these things start to come into fruition and focus and we don't know what to do, we don't know the answers, that can have a very diminishing effect on our ability to move forward into uncertain landscapes. And if you don't have the fortitude and the will for it, you got to find it, because here's the truth. You do have the fortitude and the will for it. You just may not have the strategy yet, or you may not have the clarity, but if you don't have the internal structure to manage your emotions and your focus and your motivation and all of those things, I promise you, the people, this has always been true in business, the people that can master that win much more than the people who don't. As this world accelerates, that is becoming more true than it's ever been. You have to know how to adapt. You have to know how to get in touch with the tools. You have to know how to think about the landscape in a way that doesn't dissolve you a year from now, rather amplifies you a year from now. And that's not hyperbole, right? Like, that's not me being extreme in thinking. I'm not saying the whole world is changing in a year, but this year will be one of the biggest years of change that anybody's ever seen in terms of how AI impacts our society. So personal development is going to be part of that. And I got some really cool tricks, right? I've been doing this for a long time, and coaching on it. I've had some recent things lately with people in my life that I've had to help sort through some things. And I went, man, I really need to do a lot more of this publicly. So I'm doing a lot more of it publicly. Marketing strategy, you guys, how we position in the marketplace, the different moves that we're making, business strategy, copywriting, sales frameworks, all sorts of these things that I've collected over my career. We're going to do these little micro workshops on. And again, the goal is that you leave with a tangible thing you can implement that week to get things started and get things moving in a different direction. Because if I'm going to give you a 2mm shift, it damn well better shift at least 2mm, right? And you better be able to feel the trajectory change as you go. So with that, we're also going to be doing a lot of other stuff with the 2mm shift. As I mentioned, I was going to make these workshops maybe $10 or $20, really, really, high trust, low dollar kind of things, because in this world where information is commoditized, right? You can go to AI and ask any question you want right now. What do you need me for if you're looking at me for advice? Well, I don't want you to look at me for advice. I want you to look at me rather for how to evaluate advice and or how to set things up and ask questions that you didn't know you should be asking, because AI can only guide you to the extent of the question you ask it, right? And that's where you see people with prompt engineering, like, a weak prompt gets weak results, a more specific prompt gets more specific results. But what if your entire concept and the reason you asked the question is wrong? Well, that still requires a level of experience, and AI doesn't have that experience to say, hey, you're probably not asking the right question here if it doesn't have all the context, right? So to make that super simple, to make that just dead nuts no-brainer, I've decided that you guys aren't going to pay me for any of these workshops. I am going to radically produce content this year, push it out there. It's going to largely be free. I'm going to be totally upfront with you. I am going to invite you into a private community where we can get much more nuanced, we can get much more specific, and we can continue these conversations. And there's other content and ideas and things that are happening that won't always be in the front end workshops. And there's a paid position to that, as well as some really cool experiences that I'm planning for later in the year that are in-person workshops where it's not like the old mastermind style where like we tear apart your business, identify problems, and come up with some guided solutions or whatever. Sure, some of that will be part of it, but it's more of like, I want to bring you to an experience that I believe is really high value for edging your your business and your brand against AI, and I want you to be involved in the creation of tangible assets that you leave that workshop with, or at least have the raw materials for us to create those afterwards. So those will be things that are coming up as well, where we'll be in a room together for many days, going through this whole crazy experience. And guys, I got some really cool stuff. I've never done anything like this. You guys that have been to some of my events, been in my masterminds, seen how I do a little bit of the way we structure coaching through story arcs and whatnot. It's all coming together in one fruition, because at 2mm Shift, I'm the boss. I make up all the rules. So we're going to make this the coolest experience that you can. And hopefully you guys that are watching this and maybe critical thinkers are hearing me say some things where you go, he's already kind of telling me what we need to do with this AI thing. Not specifically with AI, rather to remain relevant with AI, right? Experience matters, you guys. 100% experience matters. So whatever your experience is with me today, a year from now, it is going to be I'm not saying it's going to take a year. I'm just saying over the next year, we're going to be building these blocks where the experience just amplifies, and you'll experience content and workshops and whatnot at a higher level than you've ever been used to from me, or kind of people in this little coaching course sort of corner of the internet, right? So I'm going to send you guys to a page in a minute to join the wait list for the workshops. The first ones are going to be in March, so that's just a couple weeks away. It's going to say on there that the first 100 members get 50% off the launching price and whatnot. Listen, I changed my mind since I did that page, and I'm just letting you know. These workshops I'm going to make available to you for free. I want you guys involved. I want to give you the best chance that you have to do it. I don't want to compete with your AI bot for prompting. I just want to spend some quality time with people, build real community, real trust and connection where we can share ideas, and we'll have a much more focused piece where people can decide to buy into later if they want. But this is going to be all year long, guys. I'm not doing a workshop as a promotion and then you won't hear from me again. This is a constant thing. I have a mission that I'm on, and it's truthfully been a mission probably since 2008, which introduced me to internet marketing. I'll kind of tell you guys a quick story on this. When I first got into internet marketing, I had met somebody that would ultimately become my wife, and in 2008 we got married. And she was a hypnotherapist, and I was just me at the time, very different than what you guys know me now. I was still a magician. I was learning communication and stage presence and some of these sort of things. I was still a professional at that time, so I was competent, right? But I didn't know anything about this marketing thing. In fact, it was the most nerve-wracking thing in the world for me was to go knock on doors and ask people if they wanted to hire me as a magician, right? I still did it, but it was ugly, man. It was not, nobody got any valuable lessons out of that, let me tell you. But anyways, we started this workshop on self-hypnosis and ultimately some more spiritual minded things. And it was doing well. So I was like, well, I need to figure out this internet thing to sell this and so on and so forth. As we did those workshops, I really liked it. But as I got more into the things that I'm into, I kind of went man, if I don't build real world success in some way, I can't sit up on a stage and tell people this can change that or that can change that if I'm not the example of it. And that thought haunted me for a long time. To sort of fast forward in the story, we ended up getting divorced. It kind of ruined that whole business. The business never fully planed up because of problems that we started having. But I never lost the bug to dive hardcore into coaching. What ended up happening throughout my marketing career as I've transitioned to that is that I just love it. If somebody comes to me with a problem, puts it in front of me, almost all of my attention shifts to that. And I love helping people sort those problems out. that's what got me where I've been in the internet marketing space and community. That's why I've been able to work with the big clients I've worked with. That's why I've been able to be in the rooms that I've been a part of and have some of the networking that I've had a part of, and have some of the impacts that I've had, has been because of that. Now I have that. I've had it in spades for quite a while, actually, but I'm in a position now where I go, hey, I can stand up on a stage and legitimately tell you people I've worked with, and needles that I've moved, and things like that. Um, I'm going to now just radically impart that on the world. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like, if you're into it, I love it. If you're not, it's totally fine. This is just me inviting you into my brain, the way that I see things, the way that I do things, and I hope that some part of that imparts onto you where you can have a 2 millimeter shift that makes a tangible difference. And I believe that will always be the case because it always has been kind of through my whole career here. Hopefully power didn't just go out. We just got a weird thunderstorm in February of all things. So let me just double check that the stream is still up. I saw the lights flash where the lightning hit, and now listen, I'm gonna take it as a sign. What I just said was so powerful, was so meaningful, that just like that, God went boom, lightning down, mic drop. Let's do this, right? So hopefully I'm still live for you guys. I don't know if I am, but I'm gonna keep on keeping on. So here's the deal. A couple other things that are coming, just so I can tidy this up. I was not expecting, guys, like February in Michigan, we do not get thunderstorms, okay? That was the last thing that I had on my bingo card today, was lightning bolt, crack of thunder as we go. So maybe it'll be an interesting day in northern Michigan, right? Anyways, a couple other things. 2 millimeter shift podcast is coming. I am actively pursuing guests to come on, talk about the things that have shifted for them, so I can share that with you guys. That'll be another level of free content that I'm producing out there. And throughout the year, we're going to see a lot of other things. I've got a loose draft of my gratitude book that'll be coming into full fruition, and you guys will have access to that. Guys, the things that I've added in terms of tactical application of gratitude, I'm very excited about that. I'm not going to talk about it too much right now because I want you guys to just think about the workshops, but that's coming down the road, and I'll do a big push on that when we go. And then the other things that come with that, I'm just going to leave as a little bit of a surprise. So this is me saying, hey, I want to invite you into the 2 millimeter shift arena. I want you to go to the page that I linked in the comment and just sign up on the wait list, right? That's the best place to stay in touch with me on this stuff. I will announce the workshops there. I'll get you guys into it. They're all going to be planned out. Like I said, I'm going to be working hard on the experience of the whole thing, the outcomes of the whole things, the tangibility of it, not just the theory of it. And I'm going to look forward to igniting that with you guys. So thank you so much for watching this. If you took the time, had the patience to listen to me ramble about my fun little project, I promise you we're going to bring some cool value. I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Hit 2millimetershift.me/workshops with an S is the domain. Sign up on the wait list there. It's not going to cost you anything, and we're just going to I'm going to rain content across the internet. So this thunderstorm has me a little interested. I'm curious if it was just a weird one-off or what's going on there. So I'm going to go check it out. Take care, everybody.